catching a lot of different key momentum shifting times through that second half with Quentin Jackson taking the charge or what E-Man was able to do, or some steals. What do you feel like was the key momentum shifting point through that second half?
Getting to the bonus earlier than normal. Not to negate those things that you mentioned. I think when you're playing from behind, and it's hard to argue, which possession has more value. If you're going to be in a one-possession, two-possession game, not sounding condescending, I think the value of them to some degree are all the same. But I think for us, because of all the things that we have to fight against offensively, as we've mentioned before, we're able to kind of cheat some of the numbers if the clock is stopped, and we're able to make a bunch of free throws. If for some reason we're able to shoot a higher percentage than normal, that's even better. But to make free throws for us while the clock is stopped, it helps our OER. But one of the other cause and effect positives for us is we're able to have our defense set. And, most of the time on the second free throw, we'll sub anybody regardless of who anybody is, just so that the defense is set. And relative to a football coach, it's going to end up helping our time of possession. And that helps also our offense. We need, most coaches I think would say, we need our offense to help our defense. And I understand that. We need our defense to help our offense. And so when we're able to make free throws / shoot free throws, it's really important and helpful.
Well, it seemed like you came out in the second half, were playing a lot more pressure, I guess. What did you see? What did you at halftime? What made you decide that you wanted to change some things up a little?
Yeah, we were not being a smart aleck to you. We were doing the same thing schematically. I think the problems that we had in the first half were they scored too many points in the paint, and those points. I think they had 16 points in the paint at halftime. Those points were off of offensive rebounds, which were back breakers for us. Those points were off dribble penetration when the first line of our defense didn't do their job, and they literally shot layups. And then the third one was we're doing our job on the ball, and we're in the gaps nearest the ball, and then here comes a weak side cutter, and we were ball watching and didn't see the cutter. I know the last maybe 2 minutes of the game, we gave up points in the paint on layups, points in the paint off of a post feed coming out of the timeout. It's 13 seconds to go. That wasn't less than 2, but it was in that range. But the first 16 minutes for sure of the second half, we were much, much better at not allowing them points in the paint by those three categories, which I thought was ginormous.
The best freshman on the floor today was Miller. What did he do right, especially in the second half, and what did y'all do to keep Edwards in check throughout?
I think the foul trouble probably impacted number 5. I think E-Man has continued to improve his ability to drive in straight lines. When he's very active on the glass, it's game-changing for us. I think he had 3 rebounds in the last game, and we have no chance. Savion played 30 minutes and had 2 rebounds. We have no chance. Nebo played 30 minutes and had either 3 or 4 rebounds. We have no chance. Those guys are going to have to collect a lot of rebounds. And then statistically speaking, we need our guards to defensive rebound. If you study the numbers, games we've won, games we've lost, when our guards collectively, Q, Jay, Chuck, Dre, when those guys rebound defensively, we have a chance because it means the opponent is not getting offensive rebounds. And we've got to play almost as close as possible where we shoot as many balls as they shoot. When teams shoot more, it's because we have too high of a turnover rate and they're getting too many extra possessions on the offensive glass. As important as E-Man was in getting fouled, his ability to get 8 defensive rebounds, he had as many rebounds as multiple guys combined, and that changes our team. And obviously we needed all of the points that he got at the free throw line, and that was very helpful. But him not giving up offensive rebounds is just as important. I think they had shot 30 balls at halftime and only shot 22 in the second half. And that's like, I'm not saying that it's hidden, but that means we're winning time of possession. That means we're not turning it over. That means they're not getting offensive rebounds. And in this game, it led to us getting to the bonus earlier than normal, which was a difference maker, in my opinion.
Leslie, could you just talk about your thoughts on that play? About a minute and a half ago, you're up by 1, and it looks like Hammonds has the ball right underneath the basket. He's going to go up and lay it up or maybe dunk it. And
Okay.
Wendell kind of picked his pocket and went down there, and y'all got the 3-point play. And he kind of
Was that off the free throw miss when they got the rebound and then we got the turnover? Is that what it says?
I don't think it was off the miss, but I just.
Yeah. Look, does anybody in here know? They missed a free throw. They got the offensive rebound. They shot it. 15 shot it and missed it. 20 got the rebound, and Chuck's in there in the scrum and comes out with it. Is that correct?
I think that's
This is JJ missed it,
JJ
rebound by
missed
10, turnover by 20, steal by Chuck, layup by Chuck.
So, say the beginning of it if you don't mind.
Okay, JJ missed a shot, 10 rebounded it, Hammonds had it down low, Chuck picked his pocket, took it the other way.
So it had nothing to do with the free throw.
I don't think so.
Yeah, and then the previous time that 20 catched it, he got an and one on Nebo. Would that be accurate?
Let's see.
And
Yes.
when they missed the free throw, got the rebound, 15 shot it, they missed it, they got it again, and then we took it again. I thought 20 was very impactful down, real good, statistically in every way. I just mentioned to Coach Thornton in the radio, anytime we can score points in transition, it has to come off a steal. Transition off a miss will not happen for the Aggies this season. But off a steal, if we can shoot a layup or a dunk, that's manna from heaven for us. And I thought those decisions, made one positive in transition. Chuck made that one that you guys are talking about. I think Q scored one in transition. Those 3 baskets that I'm thinking of are really, really big. But the one thing that I just mentioned that I think is just as important is if we're not going to shoot a layup in transition and it's not assured, Chuck, I know, did it. Q, I know, did it. And I think Jay did it once too. The discipline they had when they knew it wasn't perfect in transition, and for us to run a play, if that's what it is, that buys us the time that we need, and I would say that resulted in other free throw makes for our team. So I think our decisions in transition, when we scored, obviously, very helpful, but also when we didn't shoot but maintained possession, just as big.
Yeah,
I
we're
feel
looking
like
for a
you
couple more.
did you work maybe especially hard today? You came out in the second half in a T-shirt.
Yeah, very unprofessional. I apologize. I try not to ever do that. I wear a vest just so that people don't ask me why I sweat. I'm too old to answer that question anymore. I know it's Twitter worthy, but I just want to help. And for whatever reason, I seem to have sweated more, and so I just put on a T-shirt. And was not trying to make it about me or take away from the effort and impact of what our guys did. I just, I hope that you or anybody else that watches this would always say that my energy is good, regardless of my wardrobe. But I just sweat through my stuff.
The guys seem to say that indicate that they feel like they got maybe some inspiration from that, though.
Oh, that's good. I don't know. I have, as I've said publicly, I've learned a lot in 317 days I've been here. And I think one of the things that I've been most convicted of is my ability to be a really good dad. Because the parents of our players are as responsible for where we're at as anybody. Because there were 5 kids on the team when we got here. That number turned to 4. That number's 4 now. We signed 7 guys that were brand new. That number turned to 6 now. So there's 10 kids over there, and they're differing ages, but all of this is brand new. This was game 12 in the SEC for all of us together. And I told them this morning when we were together, I thought it was the biggest game we had played since we played Fairfield. And their willingness to change and willingness to have the fortitude probably to accept how narrow the path is as coaches, that we believe that path that we have to follow to give ourselves a chance requires incredible discipline. And I think that speaks to, long before we arrived here, that would sound like that what we're doing as coaches is changing. I don't think what we're doing as coaches is really hard. I think we're just trying to give them a plan. But their willingness to change speaks to how their parents raised them on a daily basis. And it's been very convicting to me as a parent, because I wonder if my children were on a team, forget basketball, I wonder if they were working for an organization and the organization leader said, you got to do it like this, and this is the only way it works. And you know what? Tomorrow we got to do it like this, and this is the only way it works. And as soon as you veer off the road, you wreck. This is the only way you can do it. This is the only way you can do it. And when you're 18 and you're 20 years old and you got to do it over and over and over, that can only come from how their parents raised them to have the fortitude to do that. And it's been very convicting. My wife has raised our children way better and more than I have. But I think it's been very convicting to me as I've seen what has transpired since I've been here, that their willingness, we were down 10 against Ole Miss. I think that was the first time we won a conference game here. And I think we were down 9 today. And that was 5 games later. Wow. And we're literally saying the same things over and over. I gave them a copy of my game charts from when we played at Georgia. At Georgia. I gave them a copy of our game versus Florida. It was the last game. And then these are a portion of the notes for our game today. And I go, guys, do y'all see anything different on here? No. It's the same thing, Coach. Yeah. Is that bad or good? It's bad. We keep saying the same thing over and over. And I go, I knew you guys were going to say that. So I'm going to help you change your lens on it. It's not bad. It's really good. These are the answers to the test we're about to take. You already know. Now you just have to do it. And that's what's really hard.
I know Alabama's a few days away, but is there anything that you hope they take from this game into that game?
Is that who we play next? Well, I think the 6 games we've won in conference play, whether it be my opinion or you want to study the numbers, I think it tells you how thin the line is for us to have a chance to win. Maybe versus Missouri here, the numbers would be outliers. The 6 games that we've lost in conference play, there's 2 outliers, the game against LSU here and the game at Arkansas. But the other 4 losses, the opinion or statistically what you would study, it explains why we lost. And so I think Coach Oates is, what an unbelievable career he's had. From high school coach in Detroit through the success he had at Buffalo, and how his personality has allowed him to become a fan favorite where Coach Saban has a statue. But whether we play Alabama or whoever we play or wherever we play, it's just such a thin line that we have to follow. And so if we do that, then there's a chance that it's a game. And if we don't do that, not being disrespectful to our guys, it's not going to be a game. And is it their talent? Yes. Is it their coaching? Yes. Is it their style of play? Yes. Is it the home crowd? Yes. Is it what time we play? Yes. But if this was the first game I think we've won all year when the game started before 3 o'clock Central Time. Well, then how did we win? Well, we followed that really specific recipe that gave us a chance. And so I'll give them my game notes and go, if we do that, then we have a chance. And because of how they were raised, they agree.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.